Yeah. I request both of you to please join us on the stage, and I request Sundar to please present a bouquet to our guests. Let's have a huge round of applause for our dignitaries. I request Sundar to give the memento to Maninder Singh. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our chief guest for this launch, Thiru Meghananda Reddy, Member Secretary, Sports Development Authority of Tamil Nadu. Let's have a huge round of applause for our chief guest. I request Sundar to present a memento to our chief guest. To our chief guest. Kindly be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Rajat Chandolia, Associate Vice President and Head of Brand at HCL. Rajat takes care of all sports initiatives at HCL. Rajat, please join us on the stage. Please allow me to invite Mr. Abhishek Mishra, Event Director of HCL Cyclothon. Let's have a huge round of applause for Abhishek. Abhishek is a triathlete, author, motivational speaker, and also a passionate cyclist. Now, I leave the stage to Abhishek to take the motion forward.
Thank you, Alicia. Welcome everyone, good afternoon. I can see smiling faces and those proud cyclists who raced in the first edition of HCL Cyclothon. So I'd like to welcome you all for this grand and mega, this launch looks so mega, in the second edition of HCL Cyclothon. We discussed this last year also, from where it started, the whole vision, how cycling was, is growing after COVID specifically, both professionally, amateur-wise, also for people who are into fitness, and who want to take up cycling as a fitness activity. We have seen a long way, when I think in 90s, I think Omkar sir and Mandirji will know better, when the geared cycle came and then from normal cycle, and then people started commuting, and now we see cycles of such fine precision technology that there are cyclists, we see them riding at a speed of 40-50 km per hour on ECR road. So with this, I would like to invite and ask Sundar about this whole vision, and it's not just a dream anymore because we have lived 3 editions, 2 in Noida, 1 in Chennai. Sundar, your views, what we saw last year in that rain and how people came with in a huge number in that whole motivation and adrenaline. What is HCL looking forward, the whole vision, and then where do we see cycling going and HCL Cyclothon going from here?
Hello, thank you. Can you hear me? Yeah, first of all, lots of thanks to Mr. Meghananda Reddy, Omkar sir, and of course Abhishek and Rajat for this. It's a pleasure to be here, and of course, really delighted to see such a audience of media people, of enthusiastic cyclists, and all of our friends in this room today. So, to talk a little bit about HCL, and I think Alicia in the introduction did mention the fact that we were a $13.4 billion odd technology and allied areas of enterprise. We've been in next year or year after next is going to be a 50th year of existence. So it's a long journey in Indian technology firmament for us. Our founder Shiv Nadar is a Tamil Nadu person, as all of you know. He grew up and was born and brought up in Tamil Nadu, and he spent his early years here. And we have a lot of things that we do in this state, and many of you know that. I think Tamil Nadu and Chennai is our largest operation from its technology perspective. I have my colleague Srimati, Corporate Vice President from HCL Technology is here. Thank you, Sri. And she's an ardent cyclist as well, so that's a benefit for us in that sense. So, one of the things that we at HCL do, we like to think of ourselves as while we do a lot of work in healthcare, technology, etc., but if at the core of it, our thinking has always been, and we've spent a lot of time thinking about this, as to what do we do exactly, what is it that we want to do? And the answer in our head is that we look at humans, we look at all of us, and see what can we do as an organization to help each other reach the highest potential that we can, right? So we think of ourselves as somebody who multiplies human potential. If there's a certain potential that we have individually in ourselves, what can we do as an organization? What can we do to help each other multiply our potential and reach to the extent or the largest extent that we can? So that's the essence of the work that we do, and that philosophy extends in our, in the work that we do and in all the activities that we work for. And with that in mind, one of the things that we started this about, specifically in sports, I talked about sports about 10 odd years ago, we talked to ourselves and just thought about what is it that is the most clear way of looking at human potential at the edge or the cusp of the top of performance. And that is, in a sense, is all about performance athletes. All of us are really excited when we see a cricket match, when we see our team winning. All of us are excited when we see a badminton or any sport for that matter. So sports in our mind is one of the key ways in which the human potential multiplier aspect is very clearly shown in whatever that we do. So with that in mind, we then started thinking in terms of what do we do for sports as HCL, and we looked at various sports. And as Abhishek mentioned, during the times of COVID, we started again thinking further. And one of the sports that we really thought could be of great value for us to think about is cycling. Right? Over the last, I think, 20-25 years, running has been quite an interesting, quite a sport which a lot of people have started taking up. All of us are, if you look at your Instagrams or you look wherever, you see a lot of people are running these days. And a lot of people are cycling as well, and as I'm sure Stone Casting and Mahendra Singh have been working at this for the last so many years. But I'm not certain if cycling has received the same amount of energy or enthusiasm as maybe as running has. And we felt that it's a very good sport. It's anybody can do it, various levels. You can reach the pinnacle of the sport as well as you can do it in a casual, in a what I call in a more amateur fashion as well. So with that in view, we felt that one of the ways we could look at human potential multiplier is to look at cycling and look at what we can do for cycling and to help build some sort of and more interest in the sport as such. And our current solution at the moment is let's create some very top of the line, absolutely world-class cycling competitions, which we started last year from Noida, and of course, same last year we did one in Chennai as well. And we hope to continue this at least, at one of the things that we do for cycling as we move forward. So that, Abhishek, the long answer to your short question was the fact that our entire interest in cycling is all about how do we take this sport forward and how do we sort of help it. And this is a long-term thing from our perspective. It's not a one-off race or something. And we are very delighted, of course, the fact that there is working very closely with the government of Tamil Nadu, and Mr. Megha will talk about it when he gives his chief guest remarks, and of course working closely with the Cycling Federation as well. So we hope it cannot be done in isolation. It has to be done and as many partners as possible, and with all of us. And with your support, we hope to really take this forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Sundar. And like you said, that a long answer to my short question. I remember first year the questions used to be longer, because we wanted people to understand what we are doing. And I think every year, if we'll see, answers will get longer because we'll have more content, questions will get shorter. And with this, like you mentioned about human potential, multiplying it, and then providing something back to the society where we see something happening. I, as a sportsman, as a cyclist or a triathlete, I was shocked when we cycle on the road. We cycle, say, 30, 31, 32. As an amateur, Mahendra said, not like a professional, but we cycle like 30, 31, 32, 35 kilometers per hour. But I have seen cyclists. We have one winner of Noida here. that girls cycle 39 km per hour. So even the amateurs are, they're realizing their potentials. And there was a lot what we saw in 2 editions of Noida and Chennai. With that, I'll request Rajat, if you can share some light of what was the experience, how you felt when we experienced the second edition in Noida, and what we are going to bring different in Chennai in the second edition.
Thanks, Abhishek, and thank you, Sundar. Thank you, ladies, sir. Thank you, Akash. Thank you, Anand, sir. And thank you for everyone to come in and join us for this second edition launch. Like Sundar mentioned about our philosophy of HCL Group, I'll just take this a little further. HCL Sports is all about multiplying potential of athletes and the ecosystem, right? So now with that thought in mind, how do we impact cycling is one of the things that we thought about. And I think the first 2 editions in Noida and Chennai were more about doing this event, promoting cycling to amateurs and other people. But the second edition of Noida, which saw a double participation from the first edition, basically what we did was we looked at the feedback coming in from cyclists. There are of course distance categories like 55 kilometers, 27 kilometers and 10 kilometers. We increased some race categories, we increased some age groups so that we have more participation, right? Whether it's from amateurs or people like us, who generally cycle, like hobbyists, right? So we did that. We also did a lot of RW engagements, a lot of promotional rides within Noida, within Delhi NCR, and which is why we had a lot of participation. We actually had to stop the participation at a certain point of time, but we had about 2,500 people participating in Noida second edition. We're looking to do the same thing in Chennai. Second edition, we are increasing a race category. Of course, Abhishek will talk more about the technical details of it, but we are increasing the race categories. The race route is the same, and thanks to Reddy sir and of course Stalin sir, who for the first time ever, that entire stretch of road from ECR or Mahajar complex to Mahabalipuram was open for cyclists to cycle at will, right? So that was one of the biggest things that we did, and without support of the government of Tamil Nadu, this couldn't have happened. Of course, we worked a lot with CFI to see how we can get the best cyclists in the country to participate in this race. It's also part of the CFI calendar. So thank you, sir, for the continued association. So we're looking to do the same thing in Chennai edition 2. It's the same stretch of road. We're increasing race categories. We've increased the prize money. There is, I think, the addition of one more age group in the amateur category. We're looking to increase participation. That is one aspect of it. But also one of the things that we want to do this year is how to look at safety of cyclists. In the last year or so, we have seen a lot of deaths happening on the road for cyclists, hit and run cases and all of that. So we have spoken to Reddy sir and Atul Mishra sir, on how to get this, at least sensitize, like for example the bus drivers or auto drivers and all of the cab drivers. So we are working on a campaign. We will also try and launch this. This won't be just specific to cyclothon, but it will probably be a year-round activity. We'll do some rides with them. We'll sensitize these people and try and make roads a little more safer for cyclists. So that's one of the other things that we are trying to do. So we are looking for increased participation and increased support from all of you guys. Thank you so much.
Wow. So before I think, or I'll wait for that. The support of the request I have from the audience and especially my cycling friends and buddies and community. With this, what Rajat mentioned, what we're going to do in the second edition, we have made a small, classy rap type launch video of the second edition of HCL Cyclothon Chennai 2024. I'll request the team to play the launch video, please.